into a lot of trouble. Soon there were men walking over with blowtorches and hammers. Edward was more frightened than he had ever been before. Another steam engine for scrap. Oh, I see. Pity. I like the blue paint on this one, said one of the workmen. The blowtorches were lit and raised close to one of Edward's buffers. He could feel the white-hot flames searing into the
Death, or scrap in this case, has been talked about quite a bit here on YouTube. Everyone seemingly has their theories on when a sentient train dies. When they're scrapped, it's a slow, painful death. Imagine a person strapped to a hospital bed, and every now and then a surgeon comes to remove a part of their body so it can be useful for something else, leaving the person writhing in agony just waiting for that final bell to toll. Ugh, horrifying, fucking painful too. But what about natural death? We're talking about massive 60 to 80 ton cast iron sentient locomotives. What are some natural factors that could cause a death to them? They certainly aren't going to die from cancer. What exactly causes their death, especially when they hit a huge milestone in age, like 150 years old? Well, let's explore that a little bit. Rust. Rust can be described like a cancer, especially the way it grows on cast iron and steel over time. This stuff grows and sometimes looks like little tumors. And it's really weird to look at too. I've done pumps in the city and they've come back with a lot of rust on them. Some of it is surface level, but if you go inside, you see all these warty little growths on the inside that are eating away at the cast iron. And it eats through the thickest parts of the steel if it goes completely untreated. So that's a big factor. If an engine is completely rusted all over and it has all these warty growths on it, it could really ruin the steel infrastructure and there's no way to really restore it at all. So that could lead to a natural death. At number 2, we have stress. Besides rust, which is something that causes issues over time, a great amount of stress can physically damage an engine. This stress, whether it be too high of steam pressure in the boiler, which could have explosive results, or stress from a bad accident that results in a significant amount of damage to the bodies. In other words, fatal injuries. Have you ever seen a locomotive explode due to being under high pressure? Yeah. Ouch. That literally looks like blowing your brains out, essentially. Ain't nobody surviving that as a locomotive.
Express engine, I don't go. Help!
Oh yeah, he did. Okay, this last one is a bit of a joke, but this is for the original models. From the original first 4 seasons of Thomas. Getting sent to Drayton Manor, which is a place in England where they display some of these models. It's basically a death sentence for some of the original models from the TV show. This museum, pardon me, this museum is infamous for taking really bad care of them. To the point where the faces fall off, paint starts chipping, buildings start to deteriorate, the minifigures are losing all their detail and they're losing the pigment of their skin. Oh, horrible. Horrible. It's worse than being melted down into Kate Winslet's blend jet. These models have some meaning to people, and they should be treated with the utmost care. But here they're just kind of like on display, and you're just watching them slowly decay over time. That's a real death sentence for the characters of Thomas. What about death in a metaphorical sense? You're probably like, what the fuck am I smoking to think of that?
We're smoking dog shit, man.
I'm not talking about physical death with the characters in Sodor, but how we view them outside of that. A lot of people thought Thomas died when the model series completely ended. A lot of people thought Thomas died when the CGI series ended. And now a lot of people think Thomas is dead now that the cartoon is starting to go defunct because the studio is slowly filing for Chapter 4 bankruptcy. In reality, Thomas will probably never die. The series might disappear over time, but we have fan content, we have the toys, and we have a vault of fond and memories that we cherish over our years, in our childhood, into our adult years, and maybe through the kids we have of our own in the near future. Thomas will never die in that sense. And as far as the community is concerned, the community is still growing. There is a lot more people getting into this. And honestly, that's a good thing, because you know what? It expands the life of what we grew up with, what we grew to love, what we love creating fan content for, what we love creating fan art for, what we love sharing and creating all these amazing things about Thomas the Tank Engine. And in reality, Thomas is pretty damn immortal. I have no idea what the hell's going to happen for the next 50 years on or so, but it'd be wonderful if I'm retired and I have grandkids of my own and I could still see Thomas every now and then in some way, shape, or form. It's never really going to die.